Hey. So for 6 minutes, 7 minutes, I've been trying to get this thing to work. For some reason, when I pre-schedule my lives and I go to log on, it just keeps spinning. I don't know what the issue is. But I'm here now, so I apologize for my tardiness. I was I was here at 8 trying to get going, but for some reason it just would not go. It wouldn't do it. I don't know why. Hi. Hi, Suzette. How are you? Good to see you. So I'm just a little tardy. There's three people in the house already. I'm great. I'm so great. I'm excited to be here. Who else is in the house? Let me know who you are so I can say what's up. Was it a hot day today, Suzette? Hello, Gail. How are you? Storming today. We have not seen rain in like mm, maybe 3 weeks, maybe longer. Are you all safe, Sisette? Good, Gail. It's good to see you, sort of. I lived close to Houston. Got it bad. Oh, flooding. Oh, my goodness. Well, I definitely don't wish flooding on anybody. I'm so sorry. Is your house flooding where you are, or are you, or just it's there's flooding in the area? Oh, okay, Houston. Got it. Yeah. You live close to Houston. Okay, got it. Okay. Well, good grief. Yeah, I was complaining the other day about how we haven't gotten any rain for a while, and a guy that he lives in the desert though, but they haven't seen rain. They only had one rain shower the whole season. So I was like, yikes, it could be worse, right? It could be worse. So what's going on in your gardens right now? Tell me what's going on. What are you doing? Are you pulling stuff out? Are you planting for the fall? Are you just cleaning up? You done for the season with your gardening? Let me know. I'm trying to give some people time to get in before I start my little uh not rant, but just, reflection. Everything coming up, cleaned up, good. Good. Are you planting? So you're planting for the fall, or like what are you planting for the fall? I guess is my question. Sisette. Gail, are you planting anything for your fall garden? Or are you done for the season? A lot of people like the summertime, just the spring into the summer, and having a late summer to fall garden, it just wears them out to even think about it. So they choose not to do it. And I got to admit, like I'm kind of there. I'm gonna have a garden. I've already started it. But I definitely, yeah, like having a big garden, or my garden to be full size like it is now in the fall, that wears me out. I'm not even gonna do that. So I already have some peas growing, some sugar snap peas, some little marvel peas. Everything else died because of the heat wave and my lack of watering. It's like you almost have to water twice a day because it's just so hot every day. Every day it's just hot. Like 95 degrees or more. So you're growing greens and turnips and beans and peas. Got it. You need to clean up hopefully this weekend and start the fall garden. Okay, good. Yeah, it's still plenty of time. Still plenty of time. We probably have September, October. We probably have about a month before our first frost in zone 6B. And that's well enough time to get things established. But like it needs to happen now, like today, yesterday. And so like sometime this within the next week, I need to get everything out that I want out. But I told myself that I was going to keep it small. Anyway, I had watched a guy's channel, Joe. Oh, it starts with a P. I'm horrible at pronouncing it. I showed it last week in one of my live streams, or yeah, in one of my live streams. And but he was like, I'm gonna keep it kind of small. I think since then he's changed his mind or changed what he's gonna grow. But it was literally like three crops, I think he said, and most of it was collard greens. And I was like, man, Joe, you might be on to something. Like, I feel like I can just, yeah, I don't have to grow everything, but you just get that itch. You just want to grow. So there's six people in the house, and I'm only talking to two people. Who else is in the house? Let me know who you are so I can say what's up. Let me know who you are. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, how what does the garden reveal about you? I think one of the biggest things for me this year has just been reflecting and application. So, like, I've learned a lot in the past year. I learned so much. So it was like, now that you have the tools, you need to apply the tools, right? Because I don't believe in the saying that, knowledge is power. And I didn't make this up. I heard it somewhere. I think Les Brown, he's a motivational speaker, said it. He didn't make it up either because he quotes a lot of people, but he studies. Um, you know, anyway. I'm trying not to make this a long point, but and it already is. But I heard that I don't believe in the notion that knowledge is power. I believe that after I thought about it, I was like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. The application of knowledge is power. So if we never do anything with what we know, we won't get better. We won't help other people get better. You know what I'm saying? And that just makes total sense to me. So this year has been a lot about, Letitia, you've learned a lot. Now it's time to apply those things. Did I apply everything? No. But I implemented a lot of things in my garden that I learned. Did I fail? Yes. Okay. Like, and one of the biggest things for me, and if you all agree, then let me know because I know I'm not by myself, but um, sometimes consistency. So if you know something, you do it, but you don't do it consistently. I mean, you're doing nothing but, you're not helping yourself, right? And you're definitely not helping yourself in the garden. So if you have, for instance, the aphid infestation that I had in the spring that wiped out all my peas, I went out there for about 2 or 3 days and sprayed. But after that, I was like, dude, y'all can have it. I'm so over it because it was just so many of them. And I felt defeated. I really did. I was like, "Oh my God, that they can just have. Well, stay on the peas. Don't come over here to my lettuce and my cabbages and stuff, And I kind of let them go. And so that's one of the areas where I'm like, it's real easy because you just get so overwhelmed that you can just let that sucker go. I mean, I don't know if anybody else feels that way. What are some of the things that you just said? I'm not dealing with it anymore in my garden this year. And squash bugs, when I had the infestation of squash bugs, honey, I so I did what I could. I sprayed neem oil, but it was so hot all the time. I couldn't get myself up early enough in the morning. And I mean like 6:30 ish at the earliest that I needed to be out there. I just couldn't make myself get up to get to spray because it got so hot so fast. I mean, like around 7 o'clock. I can remember looking at the clock. It was 7 o'clock and it was already 79 degrees. And I'm just like, why? Why? And the sun is about to come up. Or if it already had, it's crazy. So you can't spray things like neem oil or anything, any solution on a plant when it's so hot like that, and then the sun hits it, it'll fry your plant. So I had struggles. I'm just now seeing your I'm just now seeing your comment. Insert sick guitar solo here. You're right. Does it sound like a sulking session? Like a little pity party? No. I just want to reflect. And I want you all too. I want because other gardeners may be experiencing the same things. It's like we don't all grow the same stuff, but we grow pretty much the same stuff. It may not be the same varieties. And we all just have challenges, but we also have successes. So I'm gonna get to those. Okay. I'm saving those for last. Let's just get all the junks out first. Okay. Um Sisette says I'm retired now and I'm in my garden every morning. I just refuse to let them take my progress and up early every day. Well, kudos to you because you are bigger than I am right now. You are and there are some people that have made it like I mean that's their routine. Now, I feel like and I don't know. And it's not everything, but y'all do hear me talk in my videos a lot about just like, listen, I'm not dealing with that. And that has been the theme this year. That's why I titled the live, you know, what I did because it has been a theme this year. There are just some things um that isn't worth it to me. Period. Just in life. I'm not just the garden, but since we're talking about gardening. Um but I this year I made a decision and this is why. Okay, it's not because I'm being some of it is laziness. I can definitely admit to that, but it's not all laziness. But this year I have made a very intentional decision because I'm a worry wart. I worry about everything, and it has nothing to do. It's like it's in me. It's just in me to worry and want people to do well, be well, taken care of, nurtured. It's just in me to do that natural. That's my first reaction to everything is, oh my God, the squash bugs. So everything is going to be devastated and everything is going to be, I live in that state of anxiety for about a minute and a half. And then I calm down and realize, well, Letitia, what can you do to take care of this? And if it doesn't work, so be it. Okay? Like just whatever you can do is enough. For now, it's enough. And so I hope to grow. I guess I build my stamina as I continue to garden. It's really helping me with real life stuff, gardening. Um I just yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. So hey, timer 66, nice to see you. Welcome. A garden realtor's in the house. Hey, driving but listening. Thank you so much. Please be safe driving. And so that's just kind of where I am right now in my life. Like, hey, chill out, Letitia. Um, like it's okay. And especially with gardening, you can start again, right? And if you can't start again, God willing, you will have next year. It doesn't have to be, it's not so serious. And I want to say though, if I was market farming. So if I was selling my produce at the farmers market, um, and I had to live um, on the revenue that I got from the market, that may be different. But this right now, I hope to get to that one day. So I'm not there yet. This is more of a hobby, um, but a serious one. Like I'm trying to really build myself to get there, so I can be successful with market farming. But being a beginner gardener, I have to remind myself that exactly what I am. I am beginning a journey that is what I can, you know, what I want it to look like. I can design it to be what I want it to look like. I can plant what I want. I can harvest what I want. I can build my garden the way I want it. I can give to who I want. I can store what I want. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that piece of it is it helps me to feel free. Um, that there's no I must get this done. I must defeat the pests. I must, like, or else, or we don't eat, or we don't, have gas, or we don't have lights. So uh, you know, that's personally for me, that's where I am. It's my hobby. I love it though, been gardening since 1990. Plus I go to the gym 3 times. So Suzette, again, you're retired from where? Because you sound very like and I may be wrong, but you sound very military. Where are you retired from, Suzette? There's 11 people in the house. Oh my goodness. Well, hey everybody. Uh okay, Medical Anderson Cancer Center. Okay. Were you a doctor or something? Or there are 11 people in the house and just a few in the chat. I would love to know who you are so I can say what's up. Research. Okay, cool. Hmm. Okay. I get it. Who did I miss anybody coming in the live? No, no. Okay, y'all. All right. So yeah, so that's just kind of where I am. Like this year I decided to be very intentional about in my life, finding joy in the journey, uh, not letting so much stuff ravel my, me to where I can't function, or can't continue on and make a decision to continue on because I'm so bothered by it. Now, hi, Mark, Rob, welcome. I think you're new. Welcome, welcome. And UT says, I think 4 of my split personalities made it, but I'm not supposed to know they exist. So my therapist says, well, I feel that way. And like, so sometimes I feel like, um, you know, uh, we're talking about gardening, you all, but I really do feel like gardening is therapy for people, and it really can heal you. um there's a process to healing though, and one of those things are though that you have to kind of admit just where you are, be honest about where you are. It has nothing to do with where you're going though. Like, just because you are here now doesn't mean that you won't be successful, or whatever success looks like and means to you. It doesn't have to look like and mean what the world thinks it does, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can just build what you want, and grow as you go, which is something that I really, really appreciate about gardening. And I think one of the reasons why I really decided to do it, because I just needed a place that I could literally just be free. I could be free to do whatever. I didn't have people telling me what to do. I didn't have a time frame necessarily. I mean, yes, we have to pay attention to what grows in what season and that kind of thing. But if I didn't want to do it next this week, I could do it next week. And if I chose to do it next week and it didn't work out, well, it just didn't work out. So what can I do now? It's great practice, I think, for problem solving, but also coming up with solutions is like problem solving. Um, and but also like a great opportunity to build your confidence because honey, the first time I got one plant to grow in my garden when I first started gardening, I about died. I didn't have any fruit from that plant, but it was alive. And that just that tickled me to death, right? So I think we need to just be in the moment and have fun with all of this. It doesn't have to be so serious, or but understanding that feeling defeated is not failure. It just means you lost a battle. It didn't mean you lost the war. And what's up, Miss Craft? Hey, good to see you. It is so good to see you. THANH. I don't know how you pronounce that, but what's up? How you doing? It's good to see you. New to the live. I welcome you here, and we are just kind of talking about what do we feel like gardening has taught us about ourselves this year. Garden realtor from Arkansas's Zone 7B says that she's 54 and working, and she's 20%. I am at 20% of eating from my yard. I am working towards 60%. Main goal is 85%. Wow. Those are very specific goals, and that is amazing. Divas in the house, what's up? Are we having gardening revelations again? Yes, we are. I always like to reflect. I think it's good for people to do that. I really do. I think we should talk about and like kind of and sometimes it's harder than uh harder sometimes than others, but like we just need to like go on and admit what the heck is going on. You know what I'm saying? So we can heal and move on and whatever else we need to do. Gardening has taught me that my patience is shortening every day. I was getting to that. I feel like I don't know if it's just specifically this year. I think it is. I don't remember feeling so stressed as often um as I did this year. And I think that's just because that pest pressure, y'all, when it got warm, and I mean like all of my squash plants, all of my pumpkin plants, all like every last one of them were taken by squash bugs. Every last one of them. And then I had a zucchini plant that was doing amazing, but I think the issue was pollination. I don't think it was blossoming right like I thought. I still tried to hand pollinate, and the squash bugs came. The squash bugs hit so hard this year, compared to years in the past. I do not remember that it being so bad in the past, but that really took me out. And so yeah, my patience and it being so hot. When you outside working, you trying to work in the shade, get out as early as you can in the morning. And by hot, I mean humid too. The humidity here is just absolutely ridiculous. And then I'm outside 2 hours or more at a time. Little big girl farmer with me too. So trying to watch her and deal with all, everything that's going on in the garden. um and I don't want it to turn into this stressful, like this place that I don't want to be, because that's not what gardening is to me. It's supposed to be a place of peace and whatever else I wanted to make that is soothing to my spirit. It isn't supposed to be a place that I look at and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with you today because you just make me feel some kind of way every time I'm outside. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So how do some of you all deal with those moments, and it may be consistent moments in the garden where you feel pressure or anxiety or anger, maybe even, you know, as you're gardening. How do you all deal with that? Diva says she cusses. You just cuss it out. Okay. The feeling soon passes. Oh my gosh, I can't. Dripping sweat constantly. You are so right. Miss Craft says the best sauna in the world. You know what you just did, Miss Craft? That is called reframing. And instead of, oh, it's so hot and I'm dripping sweat, and just loathing the idea of even being outside in your garden when it's 90 plus degrees. Miss Craft says it's the best sauna in the world. Reframing. And my phone's ringing. I apologize. That's pretty dope. I really like that, Miss Craft. Think about it like it's a sauna. I'm serious. I love that. I love that. Um, Miss Angela's Garden says, "Hey, how you doing, Miss Angela? It's good to see you." No, you're never too late. Yeah, the squash bugs were a beast. I'm assuming that's what you were talking about. She said, yes, they were. They're just awful this year. Four Horns, hello, hi. Miss Craft says beer, lots and lots of beer. That's how I deal. Oh my goodness, you be drinking that beer, huh? Mm-mm-mm. I can't do beer. I don't know why. I don't like I don't like it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I do like wine though. I don't like very many brown liquors. I don't like that either. I've had to reflect and find out what is it that I don't know. When I was frustrated that some of my veggies ran out so early, I realized that I hadn't learned that I need to continually plant. Good. Succession planting. Yes. Yes. And you know what? There's often solutions to the problem. We just gotta study more and research more and listen to each other and then do what works for us after we've learned some things. I agree. So if if those, even though I had several plants that I just had no room for, and I tried to keep them up, and then they died. So I could have replaced, easily that zucchini plant or the pumpkin plants or whatever if I didn't give my plants away or didn't let them die. And that's right. You can always start. You should every 2 weeks start some seeds. So you just in the event that something happens like that, then you'll have it. Um, Little big girl farm is knocking on the door, and I don't. Okay. Uh, I'm not a wino. Oh Lord. I haven't had a drink of wine in like forever. It's been a minute. It really has. I keep watching videos like Callie Kim was astonished that she was still putting down seedlings all summer. I started plants when she did and used to think I was ready for the season. Yeah, Callie Kim is a great channel. It's one of the bigger channels, but I really do like her channel. I haven't watched it in a while, but she does things very simple. I like it's simple. Everything that she does, and she'll show you all of her mess too, and um, uh, you know, when she hasn't been very successful in the garden, and but yeah, she just, honey, she's always planting some seeds. Always. It's like you never stop planting seeds. Like I feel like she just never stops planting seeds all season. Attrition is important, and knowing these drops helps to recognize and deal with them. Our main thought is to keep it fun. Bring it back to fun. Plant a whole tray of peppers tomorrow. There you go. UT33200 is the pepper pusher. If y'all didn't know, y'all better ask somebody. Y'all better ask somebody about UT. Okay. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. J3GS Farms. Hello. What's going on? I'm so glad you're here. I swear I am. I'm so glad you're here. Um, she and Gary, the Rusted Garden, are informative. Yes, Gary, those were one of the two that I consistently watched when I first started gardening. And what on YouTube, watching YouTube and researching and trying to learn. Gary is just, yeah, he's just like, don't make it. He is so rough with his plants and seedlings, and he'll say gently, but I feel like he's still being all rough with stuff. But he is more of the, I think, the difference between the two. Like he's straight and to the point, very direct. He's just like, do this and keep it moving. And he's a little bit more scientific, technical, I guess. So he's always coming up with, or talking about, you know baking soda solutions, hydrogen peroxide. He talks more about all that technical stuff as it relates to gardening. Callie Kim is not that way at all. She's just like, this is what you do. There's multiple ways to do it, but this is what I do. This is what I plant. Plant in containers, plant in the ground. She does a little bit of everything. So yeah, yeah. But those two channels were really, important to me as I was learning. And then I found everybody else. Ah! And yeah. So P. Smith Garden is in the house. Hello. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Gary is a great teacher. Yes, he is. Mikey Flo, what's going on? Miss Full Roller. Hey, what's up, crew? She said, what's up? His hydrogen peroxide solution is excellent. Keep my tomatoes going for sure. Good. Um, I tried the hydrogen peroxide twice in my garden, and I think I just messed up the first time it went well. The second time, I think I made it too strong, so it burned some of my plants. But you should always test spray stuff. Just because somebody says it works, for your garden, your climate, you should always test spray before, one, three, test spray the bottom of the plant or something. I don't know, and just do one plant and wait a few days and see how it works out before you spray the whole garden. You might mess it up that way. Um, let's see. Yeah, yeah. P. Smith is in the house. Butterflies Home and Garden. Hey, what is going on, girl? What is the peroxide supposed to do? Um, that's a good question. So it was supposed to help with blight. That's why I was using it. And there's some other things. Miss Angela, if you don't mind chiming in, I haven't watched his channel in a while. And I haven't used the hydrogen peroxide since then. But it did help my plant when it was experiencing early blight. It just kind of helped it recover. And Backyard Gardeners in the house. Hello, welcome. Good to see you. Everybody's been putting out videos and stuff too. So I've been watching everybody. I've been trying to like stay on it today. I had a lot more free time than I normally did. So I was on it watching everybody's channels today. Um, let's see. Thank you, Miss Full Roller. Um, let's see. I think peroxide kills fungus. Yes. And somebody else said something. Said when the plant was sick. I'm trying to back it up and see if you're saying something else. Okay. The peroxide solution extends the life of your tomatoes. I also have two tomatoes, Tiny Tims, that are still producing blooms and fruit, thanks to the peroxide. There you go. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had early blight on my tomato plant, and this was last year. and it basically helped. And like I had also had black leaf spot. It was like these black spots just everywhere, and it helped with that. And I really should have. I didn't even. I should have used it when on my watermelon. I should have tried it on the watermelon plant because I had black spots all over, leaf spot all over that one, and I didn't try it this year. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have done that. I really should have done that. But it really did help. I was surprised. And everybody has hydrogen peroxide in their house. It don't cost a lot. Dollar at the Dollar Tree, or anywhere really. And I mean, a gallon of water, I think it was like 2 tablespoons. Don't quote me, but yeah, it's not hard to make the solution at all. Um, yeah, you do have to stay on it though. Yep, that was true. As I slacked off, the fungus came to my larger plants, but on the deck, I was more frequent, and they still are going strong. I'm so glad you said that, Miss Angela's Garden Sense, because this is the other point I wanted to make. This is what else I learned about myself as a gardener this year. Uh, if I can't reach the plant or it's not easily accessible, I tend to ignore it. Yeah. Hey Melanie. Hey, what's going on? Yes. See? So if you have stuff close to the back porch or on your deck versus down the stairs and across the yard, you're more likely to take care of the stuff on the deck, right? Because that seems like a journey. For some reason, I don't know why we're like this, but it does. And I'm glad somebody can relate to me. Convenience is important. Yes. It's like, man, I set that over there to so I could get everything out here, but it's tucked back and I got to step over this plant to get to that plant and then move that one out the way. Honey, you better off just fend it for yourself over there. And if you can't fend, then so what? And so be it. That's what happened to one of my pumpkin plants. I can't admit that. It was just tucked over there and I didn't want to get to. I just didn't want to put in the effort to get to it. I mean, literally, I'd have to step over something else, move something out the way to get to it. And I was like, dang. And that sucker ended up dying eventually because it wasn't convenient, it wasn't easily accessible. Um, so that's just another point. Just if you're gonna have stuff in containers, line them suckers up in a straight line or do something and make sure don't put it in a corner unless it's a corner that's gonna and your line is gonna go straight across the deck or something, but don't put it behind something if you can't reach it or walk on the other side to get to it. And that's what I didn't do. I had stuff, it was blocked on both sides, I couldn't get to it, and I just let it go. Yep. um Backyard gardening inspired me today to examine my figs. Okay, yeah. Backyard gardening had a video about figs, and it's really good actually. And I always have problems with the yellowing of my fig leaves, and so she gave I think 4 points on how to what to do in the event that you have yellowing of your fig leaves. Anybody growing fig plants or fig trees? I have three. Yep, little buddy. He is a Chicago Hardy. Mr. Ellis, he's a white Marseille, and then I have Fred, who is an Olympian fig. So yep, it was a good video. Hey, Green Organic Love, good to see you. And what else? Tell me, y'all. What else y'all have learned about yourself as a gardener this year? Um, and let's see. I also learned that if I'm not going to eat it, don't grow it. And I pretty much that's advice for all beginner gardeners. If you don't eat it, why are you growing it? Uh, and even sometimes growing for other people, it's still not that it's not worth it, but if you have an abundance of something and you can't even get if you and you're just growing it for one person and you can't give it away at this point, then you need to re-examine. I feel like for okra, for instance, I could not. I found one person other than me that would eat okra. And okra is so prolific. It's so productive. Like every day you're harvesting, it will make you sick to your stomach. You just want to stop harvesting okra. That's how much it will produce, right? And I have froze okra. I have like 7 bags of okra in my refrigerator right now from 5 plants frozen. And I gave 3 bags away. We've ate probably 2 bags of okra, maybe three. I'm so over okra. Like I don't want to hear the word okra for the rest of the night. That's how crazy I'm just over it. Um, so if you are growing stuff and you don't really eat it that much, then don't, just make sure you have a place to put it, freeze it or whatever, or and if you can't give it away, then you just again just reflecting. I'm reflecting over the season. I thought my husband would eat more tomatoes than he did this season. He didn't eat a lot of them. And I was so sure that he was going to. Now, I have plenty of people to give tomatoes away to. I got tomatoes on that vine right now that I'm just like, Lord Jesus, I'm so sick of looking at a tomato now because there's so many of them. But I'm not gonna eat them up like that. Like I just don't eat tomato. Y'all know how I feel about tomatoes. Now, that black cherry, hello. And I will have more of those in my garden next year. I love me some black cherry tomatoes. Oh my God. Y'all know how I feel. Y'all know how I feel about them black cherry tomatoes. Yes, I hate squash bugs too. Timer 66. Oh my gosh. I sure do. I've learned that you should embrace the fact that I'm new. I'm not seasoned. Yes. Yep. So if you are a beginner gardener, that's what you are. You are beginning the journey. And you may be beginning for 3, 4, 5 years. Okay. Or if you've never grown something, you're beginning. With that. I feel like, yeah, you just gotta be where you are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, I made that mistake last year. I was growing things that I just watched them grow and never ate. Ain't that the truth? Uh and that's how I feel about these tomatoes at this point. Like I'm just watching you grow. And I don't want stuff to eat them though. It's weird. It's like, squirrel, you better not be over here eating my tomatoes. But I'm not harvesting them because there's so many of them. Or don't and I haven't met or saw any animals really picking at the okra. Does anybody else have that? Like no, no, I don't see the squirrels eating them. I don't see a bite out of the okra. Nothing. These suckers just growing. Okay. And I got to harvest them quick. Butterflies Home and Garden says, what I've learned that don't be afraid to experiment, even if it fails. Be afraid, even if it fails, because a failure would not trying at all. Yes, I agree. And I love how gardeners say things are an experiment, especially if it just cracks me up, especially if we don't know what the heck to expect. It's an experiment. Oh, but I've done tons of experiments this year. Um, I one of the more fun ones for me though was cloning the tomato plant. Clipping a sucker off and cloning that and sticking it in soil, whatever, and watching that root. That was pretty cool. That was really cool. And I did it the other day. I just took off the 2 tomatoes that I let grow into bushes basically out by the arch trellis. I just cut, it was a big sucker. I mean big. And put it in a bucket full of soil, and the tomato ripened on the plant. I guess the plant has roots. I mean, because it survived, it's doing well. So that stuff is fun, and that's another thing that I've learned about myself. Like I'm okay with taking risks. I don't like risk, but I understand that there's a place for it. And sometimes, like, risk doesn't necessarily, it makes you feel anxious initially, but it could definitely like change your life. Trying something new that you typically wouldn't try, or something that you typically would never do. I mean, it may just surprise you. It may just surprise you. Miss Craft says, I learned just the opposite. Just because I eat it, I don't necessarily have to bend over backwards to grow it. For example, mangoes. I eat them, but they don't grow here. That's right. Yep. I like that. I like that. Um, P. Smith Gardner says, hornworms at all my tomatoes. Oh no. And see, then I feel like, dang, Tisha, you just be, complaining about stuff and people don't have, shame on you. Um, let's see. But yes, experimentation is the key, really. You just got to figure it out. You got to allow yourself to have some time to figure some stuff out. And that is okay. It really is okay. I think when we get started, we like the idea of gardening, so we plant all kinds of stuff. But if I don't eat it, no need to plant it. Like my beans, I don't eat them, so why was I growing them? You're right. I found myself, and maybe because we just didn't have enough of them, but the purple, I forget what they're called, but they're like a purple bean. Um, I thought they were really cool to grow because they were purple. I've never seen purple beans before. So I grew them, and we ate them. We ate what we grew, but after a while I was like, okay, I'm over that. like okay, I planted those. Okay, I grew those. Now I'm done. I probably won't. Now, I won't say that I won't plant again because I still have seeds, and I don't think you should waste seeds for real, especially if they're viable. So I may give them away, or I may plant again. There was nothing wrong with the purple beans, but I just found myself like, again, I'm just looking at them grow, and I'm not harvesting any. I was disappointed with the Kentucky pole beans though, but now I got some growing. Diva Jones 03 said today in a video that stop ripping stuff out. Now, if it's completely dead, I mean, and an infestation of insects has happened. Like for instance, all my squash, zucchini, pumpkin plants, all those were just devastated. Then yes, but you sometimes, like, I don't like the way plants look. If I don't like the way you look, I'm cutting you off or I'm pulling you out. And but what I did was resist that with those Kentucky pole beans because I was devastated. It's like they started to get like a Kentucky pole beans. I think it was like a powdery mildew, or was it downy? I don't know. I might be wrong. Somebody tell me. Beans, they get mildew, and so I was getting a little bit of that. Then the Japanese beetles came, so now I have holes in all my beans. And so I was like, oh, and then they started to dry up and turn brown. And I was like, okay, those are gone. But I never cleaned them out. And now I have Kentucky bowl beans growing. I guess somehow they still got watered. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But I have not intentionally watered those things until yesterday. And I have pole beans. I was disappointed in those, but I'm excited that they are growing back. And so if you just give things a chance, it might surprise you as well. But patience, that patience piece, yeah. Sometimes if it's just not going our way, we are done with it and we are out of here. We ready to cut it right off. Um, Miss Fuller says, Full Roller says, I've learned that unconditional love is not natural. Plants require certain conditions to grow and produce. Our body seems to require similar conditions to be at its best as well. It is all connected. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I really like that. Okay, that was good. That was good. Hey DD, what's going on, DD? Can we get 21 thumbs up for the host? Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Also, to question traditional methods if they don't make sense. Also, experimentation. Yes, that's another thing. Like, I grew up. watching my grandparents farm mostly tobacco, but they had a vegetable garden and potatoes and strawberries and things like that, plum trees and grapevines and, but that traditional row, gardening, versus the square foot gardening. That was new to me. And that's what I learned about myself too this year, that I am still a learner. Like I almost crave to still want to learn, right? It's like I just have to have it. Like if I go one day without looking at a YouTube video of some sort, about gardening, I feel like I have missed out on my life for that day. Like I'm like, where have I been? In a room, like closed up, locked up. Like I just feel like my day is not complete without learning something different. So for instance, like these citrus trees, I got two citrus trees. I have nothing, I don't know what to do. I got those trees and I thought I knew what I was going to do and knew what I was doing, and it's like I froze. Like I have no idea, but I do know they're still alive, and I'm very excited about that. That I've kept them alive. But yeah, it's like I've just been taking in information, and I have to, like, I crave that. I crave to take in information. Um, and then like this whole about the cuttings thing. So my citrus trees are growing the new growth, but it looks crazy. It looks like somebody gave it a crazy haircut. So there's um some of the plant is higher than the rest, if that makes any sense. So I want to try to take cuttings and root those. So I've been learning a lot about that before I actually do it this winter. I'm going to try it this winter when I bring, because I have to bring them in the house here in my zone. It'll get way too cold. It'll kill them. So I have to bring the citrus trees in. Um, Purple beans and okra. P. Smith Gardner. I don't know what you. Maybe that's what you grew this summer. Purple beans and okra. I'm sorry, I wasn't following very well. Um, does anyone here grow house plants? Miss Kraft asked. Yes, I grow philodendrons, and I've neglected those too. Bless their heart. But they listen. If you, this is my experience. I cannot kill a philodendron. I cannot kill it. I don't. I have unintentionally tried, but those plants will just. My plants are still alive. I have two in pots in my house, and I can go 2-3 weeks without watering, and those suckers are still there. I don't know how. I don't. I really don't. I just don't get it. They just won't die. And there may be some leaf yellowing, like this one that's in my office right now that I'm looking at. It's not even yellow. It is a deep green, beautiful color. There's some new growth. The one in the living room, the leaves are yellowing. So I do see some of that. But honey, they are still alive. Still alive. But I'm not like an expert on growing houseplants or anything. Um, Obviously. I'm not an expert on anything. Green Organic says, I never felt like I have a green thumb, but my mama had them house plants, but I watched her transplant and propagate her house plants. Yeah, people tell me that all the time when I tell them their garden. They say, "Oh, I don't have a green thumb," and I'm like, "Me neither. I'm just learning, and I am better than I was, yes." But it's like, why do you automatically have to know something to do it? Like I don't know or know how to do something to do it. Who does that? Nobody does that in real life. I mean, some things come naturally to you, yes. But if you never built a car before and you're working for Ford, and they put you on a line, they're not expecting you to know how to build a car. You have to learn some stuff first, before they'll let you even be by yourself on the line. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like people, I don't know, but no, I don't feel like you have to have a green thumb to know how to garden. You learn how to do stuff by repetition. uh and I mean, and you have to be willing. So those people are not willing to learn, at this time. At this time, and that's okay. I struggle with growing potatoes and onions. Me too. Potatoes, I had a little bit of success. I'm trying again. But onions, complete fail. Complete fail. Uh, let's see. Don't get me wrong, I rip stuff out. There are priorities in the garden, but my Kentucky Wonders must stay. I know how they do later in the season, put on like crazy. Yes. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I understood. I understood what you said about don't pull things out. I mean, give them a chance. Yeah. She's saying that she does pull stuff out, but there's some things that, and you learn how they behave. When you learn how the plants behave, you'll be less apt to pull stuff out prematurely, versus us beginner gardeners. We just be, you know, if it looked dead, it's coming out. That's what I used to think. If it looked dead, it's coming out, even if it wasn't all the way dead. If I didn't like and I'm still kind of like that now, by the way. Rita is a huge challenge for me. Rita the raspberry bush. I don't know if y'all know Rita, but she looked pitiful. And then I learned that from somebody in here, I do believe, who I learned it from, that if the shoots, or whichever shoot fruits, it dies, and then you get new growth, and that will fruit, and then it will die, so it turns brown. That's challenging for me. I don't like the way that look. I don't like the brown with the new growth. But I guess I could cut it off, right? I can cut the brown off. I don't know. Hey, Angela's Busy Bees, Garden and Homestead is in the house. Good to see you. Let's see. I think some of our edibles make some of the most beautiful plants. I want to grow some things just because they are pretty. The fruit is a bonus. That's true. Yes. These pepper plants. I think Diva Jones had a pepper plant, but I've been seeing a lot of people. Like, I was so bummed out that my peppers did not turn out. I didn't. None of them. I had chili peppers. I had not chili peppers, cayenne peppers, and all these different ornamental plants to grow this year. And none of them worked out. All of them died. I just could not get them together, except the anchos and the sweet peppers. And then I had some like California winter peppers that did. I got about 3 peppers out of 3 plants on those. It's weird. But yeah, they are very, very, very pretty. I almost put up my cayenne peppers 3 weeks ago, and they are not pushing out blooms. And now they are pushing out. No, and they are not pushing out. I think you meant they are pushing out blooms like crazy. Yep, I saw your videos. And Miss Full Roller says, I learned this year that you can regrow celery. Yep. Yeah, almost anything we can start over again. It may take a long time. With some things grow faster than others, but yes, you can always start again. And that's another thing that like helps me to like bring my shoulders down. I just get really relaxed within the garden. It's like, man, all I gotta do is plant the seed. You see all these seeds I got over here? Like, all I gotta do is plant it again. Just plant it again. Or not. That really brings some calmness. I don't even know how to describe it. Just some peace. With I can do whatever I want to do. You do what you do over there, but over here I get to do whatever I want to do. um, Food Forest Permaculture is in the house. Let's see. Let's see what about food. Lord Jesus. Right. She had me rolling too. In Diva's video earlier today, she talking about all her life she had to fight. So of course most of us know what the reference to that movie. Yep, and it was hilarious. I rolled. I was all over the floor rolling around listening to that video. Barefoot, do you have a fall garden started? Yes, I do, Miss Angela. I have sugar snap peas and little marvel peas growing right now. So I'm excited about that. And I still have tomato, like all of my tomato plants except three. I still have. I'm about to take them out though. There's two that are in the ground in the backyard that need to come out. They're about done. There's only one fruit on them. Yellow pears. I may have some yellow pear tomatoes. They just came out of nowhere and decided they wanted to grow. So I might have two. So that lets me at least try them. I have plenty of seeds, so I don't need to save any seeds. But I'm excited to try those. Um, mint. I this holy. I mean not mint, but holy basil, honey. Holy basil, by the way, grows like a bush. And this is the other thing I learned about myself. I like the names of things, such as the holy basil. And I'm like, well, what makes it so holy? Anyway. And so I had to grow it to see what makes it holy. And I don't know what makes it holy, but I will tell you this about holy basil. Honey, holy moly is what I said when it grew to full, to the full plant. It bushes out. So you grow it thinking it's gonna grow straight up, like Genevieve's basil or like regular basil. No, ma'am, no, sir. It does this instead of like this. Y'all feel me? It bushes out like this, and honey, it will take over. It stays in its little area sort of, but it really does bush out like that. Now I might have had I might have had two plants or three plants, but it really does grow like this. So if you're growing holy basil or you're thinking about it, I think you should. It smells really good. The bees love it, but honey, it it will bush out on you. Versus like Genevieve's basil or just a regular basil, it will grow up and out, kind of like this. But holy basil does this, kind of like thyme and, or is it thyme? Rosemary. It kind of goes out a little bit. Um, Bear fruit, help me. What? What is happening? What is happening? Hold on. I can't. Okay, wait a minute. What are y'all talking about? What? Since you're in such a warm college, may do better in the fall, winter, and spring for you. Greetings from North. Hey, the Naked Gardener. Welcome. I'm trying to back it up and see what they talking about here. Because I was talking about holy basil, and then Green Organic hollered help me, and I don't know what she's telling me help her with. Dee said maybe you should turn the holy basil into the burning bush. Girl, I did cut it back significantly though. I was like, man, I need my what's some hedge cut. I mean, like really, because it just grew out. I was like, yeah, I need my hedge cutters because this sucker is just taking over. Um, and maybe perhaps that's why the tomato plant that it was next to didn't have any pest issues. I don't know. Apparently, it helps with pests. Basil does if it's close to tomatoes. And I heard, not that I know this like for certain, but I heard that basil planted next to tomatoes makes the tomatoes sweeter. I don't know if anybody else has heard that or has experienced that on their own. I don't know personally. But yeah, y'all are so funny. Naked Gardener is in the house. You are so right. Water them and cover with plastic until they germinate. The plastic will leak the moisture, keep the moisture in. It's been so hot and they could be drying out. Yes, that's true. I believe in the paper bag method, not paper bag, plastic bag method. Germinating seeds. If you can put some type of plastic over it or stick it in a bag with some paper towel, wet paper towel, your seeds, they will germinate. I wouldn't recommend doing little bitty like lettuce seeds or any brassica plants for real because the seeds are so small, but you can, it'll work. But yeah, if you have a container or even a cup, if you're growing in your cup, in a cup, like a solo cup or something, just put a piece of what's that plastic wrap or something over it. Do that. It'll help with germination. Food Forest, Southern Vancouver. Oh, I lost you. Where did it go? The chat started. Oh, the chat started moving and I lost you. I'm so sorry. Suzette says that she covers her greens with newspaper till they germinate. I've never heard of that one. And she does the carrots like that too. Foss, you said Foss about the basil making the tomatoes sweet. The Naked Gardener, I think that's what she's talking about. Okay, yeah, I don't know. That's just what I heard. I don't know. But I do believe that it helps with pest issues. At least for me, because I didn't have any pest issues on that tomato plant with all that basil growing around it. I mean, it was a lot, a lot. Polyculture planted in no-till will give the best production of food anywhere. Yes, I'm still learning why do I keep losing that? Like, I don't know. I'm still learning the difference between all this lingo, polyculture, horticulture, hugoculture, like all these different, you know what I'm saying? All those different terms. Um, Let me go back down. It's supposed to be a companion plant to tomatoes. The Naked Gardener says basil. It's supposed to be a companion plant to tomatoes to decrease hornworms from attacking the tomato. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, the Naked Gardener says that he started with the paper towel method, growing seeds. You're in a beautiful part of the world, food forest permaculture. Uh, let's see. The newspaper works too. Miss Angela says she heard that. Okay, I got you, Naked Gardener. It's false. Okay. Ooh, pizza, food forest. That sounds good. I have not had dinner yet, so that sounds real, real good. Yes, help with deterring pests. Yes. Okay. Polyculture is all are planted is when all the plants are planted together. Okay, got it. Polyculture. Trying to find your channel, food forest. Okay, he's there. And you can also just run your cursor over someone's name, and there will be three dots that pop up to the right. And if you look at those three dots, you can click on it, and then it should tell you. It may tell you to go, give you the option to go to their channel that way too, and it'll open up the channel in a new window. FYI. Yeah, my vocabulary is not that strong either. The Naked Gardener. I don't claim to know everything, so if I don't know, I'm gonna tell you I don't know, and I'll find out if I need to find out for you, or I'll learn about it on my own. I don't. I'm not ever going to be that person on this channel, like the one that knows all the terms that are technical. None of that stuff. I just don't. I won't ever be that person. Um, Gardening is a whole new language. Yes. Yes, it can. And some people just be throwing terms around, y'all, just like to make it like they know. I mean, we are all pretty much doing the same thing. Everybody's making the same videos. You know, we regurgitating information that we've heard before. And it's just, I think the way you do it is what matters. Like, people are attracted to the way you do it. Um, and I mean, there is some information out there that is new. There's the culture of gardening, the business of gardening and farming. All that stuff is changing every day. Uh, But yeah, I don't think you have to be all in the know all to garden. Definitely not. I know you don't. I'm evidence of that. I don't have to know everything to garden. Um so things that went really well for you this some season. What are some things that you are really excited that you've learned about yourself that you had no idea about yourself that excited you, that made you more confident, that pumped you up? Okay, because we talked about all that other stuff. Okay, I'm just reading some of y'all's comments here. I'm talking. Okay. Um, Miss Fullroller says, looking for folks that are in your same growing zone area as they each have their unique characteristics. Yes. So when I started, I was looking at people in California, but then I found Gary, who is in zone 7. Maryland Zone 7. Yeah, that's what he's always says. I'm in 6B7. So, and then I found after him, I started to find a lot more people that were in Zone 6B7. And that's why I keep putting my hashtag Zone 6B on my videos, because I hope to attract people that also live in Zone 6B, so I can look at their channels as well. Not just so they support my channel, but that I can look at their channels as well, because we live in the same conditions, growing conditions. So yeah, that really helps. That really, really, really does help. Um, for me, this was the year for large size tomatoes. Yes, it was. So, what did you learn about yourself as you grew your large tomatoes? Did you, was there an opportunity for you to try something different that you did? Tell us more about that. Learning to propagate trees and other plants. Cool, Miss Angela's Busy Bees. Yes. Um, I am I just want to master that. I really want to master that. Like I can do it. I can do it. I can propagate things. Do you have like 100% success? No, I do not have 100% success, but I can actually do it. But I really want to get really good at propagating cuttings, like from trees, because this year is the first time I've ever grown trees. I've ever owned trees. So I have, fruit trees. I have a couple of apple trees. I have the fig trees. I have the citrus. Um, so this year I really want to focus on mastering that during the winter time. Um, UT, I lost you. Once I installed the flux capacitor to my hydroponics and charged it, I found a plant in the yard I grew last year. Oh, yeah, I must be talking about something else. Yeah. Fruit trees in specific, you learn from lead farmer, New Orleans gardener, and backyard gardener. Okay, good. Yep, and I support all those channels. Um, Visit other gardens and see what grows in your area. Yep. And that that may seem weird, but it's not. Like people love to talk about their gardens and share their gardens, especially like I've stopped by a few I'll be driving down the street and they'll have signs out in the yard like fresh eggs, for sale or something like that. And I'll stop. I don't want their eggs. I just want to see their garden. And I could tell they have a garden because I've peeped around, you know, kind of been nosy a little bit. And just ask people to check it out. There, right down the street, there are some folks that are homesteading. They have a small garden, but they have like miniature horses in a residential area. Like it is the cutest little place. Now, that place I have not been to yet, but yeah, people love to share their stuff and they've been there for a long time. They were here before we even moved in the neighborhood. But it's beautiful over there. Beautiful, right smack dead in the center of a residential. I mean, like highly registered, like houses on houses on top of each other. So I don't know how they got that bad, or if there's any ordinances that they had to fight to build their little homestead. But it's so cute. Good night, Four Horns. Good to see you. I'm about to head out too as well. Yeah, I haven't ate. I have not had dinner, and it is 9:22. Okay, and that's one of my other problems, Diva. Okay, eating so late. Yep. Don't get shot. You right. You are so right. No, no. And that's why I look for those signs, because they are expecting people to stop and ask questions about what they have. So you right though. Angela's garden says the funny thing is, and she's talking about her big tomato success this year, that she had no idea why they are so successful. She thinks that it enhances the soil with worm castings, eggshells, and a good fertilizer, and that's probably true. I mean, worm egg castings, worm castings, and eggshells really do help a lot, a lot. Yes. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I ran across some Miss Full Roller says I ran across some information that inspired me to get back into my veggie container gardening. I've also discovered red amaranth and Malabar spinach for summer greens. I also have regular spinach. Yes, that Malabar spinach, I really want to try that. I've got to get some seeds for that, because that spinach grows up, it vines, right? Yeah, I thought that was really, really neat. And I really like spinach. I want a whole daggone field full of spinach. I could just eat that every day with everything. I love it. But yes, I'm about to roll out of here. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I think we had capacity 22 people in the house, I think, or 23. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I really appreciate your support. And I am looking forward to watching everybody's videos. I have gotten caught up, I think, for the most part. But you all are some amazing people and really working hard to put out great content. And I really appreciate you all sharing all of yourselves as far as gardening goes with me. I really feel like everybody is presenting a little bit of everything. And I really love those channels that show, the good stuff and the bad stuff, because we can learn so much. And I don't mean to focus so much on the bad or the stuff that causes anxiety a whole lot, but it's just true. It's real, and people want to know how to deal with things like that. And so that's why I bring it up, not to have a sulky moment or pity party, but to really show the good and the bad. I don't mind doing that on my channel, and I know a lot of you all don't mind doing that as well. So thank you all again for your support. Thank you all for hanging out with me, and I will talk at y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.